what to prepare for. Now remember, if you have not watched yesterday's video, please do so. In the link in the description, I talked about some of the major zones, especially here where the liquidity is of that 5 and 20 day. Let's talk about that. But right now you see how we are still, well, technically selling in that magenta rhythm here. We could also go down, so pay close attention to that, and the main liquidity of that will come from here. So I want you to pay close attention to the 20-day moving average. Look out for some microstructure here, because this can continue heading down here to the orange, or if this wants to dump, it has to head down with the green. Now the larger liquidity, as I mentioned, will be where the 20-day and 5-day moving average will be. Previously that liquidity there. So if this wants to continue selling in that magenta, you can see how the liquidity can build. By then, your 5-day crossing below 20-day, as I talked about, there's a certain interjection right here, and grabbing the liquidity of that very key level here. So you know the levels to look out for if this wants to continue heading down. But otherwise, just be more mindful because, well, firstly, we have retested the 5-day moving average, and I talked about the liquidity level here, isn't it? So market can grab this liquidity absolutely easily. So pay close attention. It just requires maybe a nested structure because we have built so much liquidity near the 5-day moving average here. Now on a larger scale, this is what you want to look out for if you want to go long. And this is important because if you remember, we talked about this yesterday, right? I talked about this pink, and I want you to see how it grabbed the liquidity on the way up here. This was the pink from yesterday, right? And you see how the pink is starting to build more liquidity as well. This wants to head up. So this is what you need to think about, especially off that liquidity level where the 5-day moving average is. Now this will obviously see the blue turn into some sort of support because the blue has been starting to sell, and you understand why, right? So if the blue continues to reject down and the selling continuation, you can see it's the magenta. Yeah. Now there's a larger one here, right? Yeah. And I talked about that, the larger liquidity level. So even if we grab that, you can afford to wait for your cups to close here. Now when the cups close, you can wait for some structure before we start pushing out, grabbing the main liquidity here at that 685, 686 level. So there are plenty of levels you can afford to wait for microstructure right there. Now, if you're feeling lost with the algorithms right here, that's fine. I have, well, the daily analysis every single day in the Discord server, together with about 11 episodes of secret training videos here now. So just a reminder that you have to, well, practice this. It's very important you practice, very important you understand certain, well, methodologies before you start trading with this particular system. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you closer to opening bell.